I was dancing in the background. Well, hey, welcome.
That way.
Yeah, welcome. It's Tech for Senior Live this morning. It is Thursday, June the 10th, I guess. Yeah, and we are here today for another hour of discussion with our coffee. Has everyone got their coffee? Yep. Thank you. Yes, we all do, or whatever we've got. So I want to welcome everybody. As you know, this meeting is being broadcast on StreamYard, which is a little different than our Monday meeting. So it's being broadcast to Facebook and YouTube. So viewers will be watching us on those platforms today. It's a little different than our Monday format, which of course is our Zoom meeting. I want to just introduce everyone today. Of course, we have a guest. We'll get to our guest in a minute. Like to introduce Hewie. Hewie is, of course, my co-host on our Monday show, and of course, the author of that famous website, Hewie.net, right?
Absolutely, since 1995.
1995, lots of stuff there. Yep, for sure. And of course, we have Bob, our security expert, who does the weekly security update and keeps us. You know, Bob, you're never out of work, eh? There's always lots of bad guys. I think you're muted.
Yes, it isn't that terrible.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the guy I have working for me that has to pull the weeds. He's never out of work either.
Yeah, I know.
Just keep coming up.
That's true. And of course, our special guest today that I am so excited about having on. I wanted to have John on for so long because it's John Kennedy. And I'm going to get John to talk a little bit about himself in a minute. But I just wanted to let everyone know that I've known John for quite a long time. He is, of course, with APCUG. And that's how I met him because, of course, of the conferences. And he's a moderator of one of the conferences that are offered this year, and he's been doing it for quite a while. So that's how I got to know him. And he's also a really cool guy because he likes Linux, and he has a vision that seniors Linux is a good idea for seniors because it's free, it's secure, and it's cheap. So he's going to talk a little bit about that today and get. And if you have any questions at all about Linux, he's the person you want to ask, or he can certainly point you in the right direction. Eh? That's a for sure sign. Let's see who we've got in the. Let's see over here. We'll have a look, and I'll bring up the comments. Where the heck are we here? Comments. There we go. Let's have a look here. Geeks on Tour. Good morning from all in Florida. And Mike Ungerman is here. Great. Hi, John. So
Hi,
you know
Geeks.
Chris and Jim, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, I think everybody knows Chris and Jim, right? Who doesn't know Chris and Jim, right? Mike Ungerman, drinking a healthy shake for lunch. There you go. And Apex, oh yeah. Now, John, not to make you nervous, I don't want to make you nervous, but we are broadcasting around the world. And Detler is in Germany, all right? So we are broadcasting not only to across Canada, the United States, but we're going across over onto the other side of the world. And so we've got lots of people. Mike says... yeah.
Four penguins up.
And Vale, now you Vale, of course, is a friend of mine. He is lives at Silver Ridge, where where our resort is, where we go down for the summer, and he helps me. We do computer support in our computer club. He's the brains. I just do the intros and sort of allocate the stuff off. But he really is the smart guy. So he's come on, and he's usually on Thursday mornings. He always asks me the tough questions. Mike, for those not in the know, the penguin is a logo and mascot for Linux. There you go. Did you know that, John?
Better.
All right, listen. So let me just open it by saying, let me tell you a bit about why I was interested in Linux. As you know, he and I do the Chromebook SIG, right? Or our monthly show, and Project Crostini, of course, came along quite a while ago, and now there's a version of Linux that can be installed on your Chromebook, and in fact, you can run the two operating systems together, which I do, and I do it mostly for demonstration. But on my Chromebook, I actually run Firefox and Linux. That's a little icon, and then I run Chrome, and I can move back and forth between them. And that was sort of my interest in Linux, and so really, tell us a little bit about what your involvement is. Tell us a little bit. Do you use any Windows stuff? Is it all Linux? Like, can you give us a bit of an idea what it's all about?
I'm a person who wants to be in one side of the fence, but I can't. Because of our club being dominantly Windows, I'm still a teacher for seniors in Windows and a troubleshooter for people in Windows. And it's kind of a sad thing for our group that it's the Linux guy that is the Windows helper. But it is. But I do have to say I do have a Windows machine because my adult son wants to play an online game that really works best on Windows. So for Christmas, he got me all the parts so I could build a new computer so that we can have that just to play games. So, I still have it, but I'm dominantly, a Linux person. And, that comes back from my days when I was a tech coordinator along with a teacher at our middle school and had to deal with the users and backups. And we were using a Linux server at the time. So I got a little bit of intro to Linux back then. And as I got ready to retire, and those of us all know what kind of income we have on retirement, I needed to look for some things that could help my pocket. And that's when I started also doing a lot of free software, which is the free John part, and then went to the free and secure operating system of Linux. But at the same time, I still was teaching computer classes for seniors and then helping people with their Windows problems. It's getting harder now, with Windows changing, and if I don't spend enough time on it, then I don't know all the changes, and I have just hope that I can stumble across the answers.
One of the things the vision I have for Chromebooks particularly is, and we'll talk about this a bit later in the show, but Chromebooks, as you know, have developed immensely in the last few years, and they're in the horsepower behind them, and and the power is equal to none now. I mean, they're very powerful machines, but they're always, when you get into video editing or you get into other parts, that the operating system doesn't just do quite as well as Windows or the Mac. But here's the kicker: is that they run Linux. It runs Linux, so Linux has all those great video editing, all that stuff is available in Linux. And I see, as we move forward with Chromebooks, as if you had a Chromebook and you had really, it worked for 95% of your stuff, but this last 15% is video editing or something, you had to do it, then running Linux on there and it runs all in tandem with whatever video editing you wanted in Linux would certainly make your Chromebook like a 100% machine. That's sort of my vision of it. Do you think I'm on the right track there?
I think so. I've been a person who has now been pushing Chromebooks for you guys, with seniors especially, and anybody who comes to me and says, what should I buy? And I said, you tell me what you do.
Right.
And if they tell me they do the things that Chromebook is great for, I said, go with a Chromebook. I said, I've learned that a push of the button and it resets itself, and you can do all those things that you're telling me to do, and you don't have to worry about it. I said, go with it. It's not as expensive, and that's what you need to be able to do what you want to do on a computer. And now that you're telling me about what you can do, I'm kind of intrigued now that maybe that deal that I saw that you have on the Facebook, get a Chromebook and see if I can do it that way. Because we tell people with the free software that I did my presentations, I said, try it, you might like it. And if that free software doesn't do everything that you need, well, then you buy the software for that particular reason. So Chromebook does everything for you, but you want to do some video editing, you don't have to buy a Windows computer to do it. Just install free Linux, and now you can do it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, at least we're on the right track. What do you think, Hewie?
I have been trying to stay away from Linux only because I don't know what's going on in the back, and I don't need to learn more things. I have enough to learn. But I have played with it somewhat, and what really I like about the Linux distributions, that if you've got a CD or a DVD player on your computer, you can have the operating system on that, and you can run it from that. You don't even have to install it, which is really nice. And with the Chromebook, I haven't played with it on a Chromebook, but everything I'm reading about it, it's easy to use and easy to do. And it's a matter of turning a couple of switches on.
We had Gerald Smith asked us, how do we put Debian on a Pixelbook? Well, it's not just a Pixelbook, and I'll just answer that briefly, but in the options, in the Chrome options, if in the settings, if you go down, you'll see it's pre-installed. It's actually, it's all set up for that. So I don't have my Pixelbook down with me here, but if you go into the settings, you just say enable Linux, right? And you click the button and it installs it, right? It's the Debian. So is Debian part of Ubuntu? Is it a version of Ubuntu or?
Ubuntu came from Debian. Debian is one of the original three.
Okay.
And so Ubuntu came from Debian, and then Mint came from Ubuntu.
Right.
But they're on the same family tree.
Right. The problem is, it goes and installs it all, right? It's fine. It's all included. It's just boom, it installs it just fine. And then you get your text screen editing menu, which of course everyone goes, well, where do I go from there? Right? Like it's a command line. It opens up into a command line. So all of a sudden you think, okay, what do I do next? And that's where you need to move. You need some help with that. But that's how easy it is. If you just go into settings, turn it on. I would caution people, though, if they're thinking about doing this, don't just do it to goof around, because one of the problems is it loads a whole bunch of stuff onto your hard drive, and it takes up space. And if you're never going to use it again and you just want to see what it looks like, don't do it. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to use it, fine. If you're not, just don't hit that button, because it'll just install it and away you go.
Yeah, we recommend if people want to check it out, you can install Linux on a thumb drive and then pop it into your Windows machine, boot to the thumb drive, and it doesn't do anything to your computer, and you can use it.
Yes.
You can also try it online. There is a site that has all of the different distros, and you can try one after the other till you find one you like, and you might just want to install it on one of the computers.
Right.
I have it installed on one computer, and that's all that's on that. It happened to be an old laptop. It really wasn't doing much good for me anymore trying to use it on Windows.
KL says, you may have already mentioned this, but I joined late because I was waiting in the Zoom meeting. What is the status of Zoom this morning? All right, so maybe I'll just refresh everybody's memory. This is a bit confusing, I know. Our Monday meeting is broadcast on Zoom, and it is and it's a meeting ID and so on and so forth. And for the first 100 people that come in, because our Zoom license is for 100 people. Once we fill up, when we usually do fill up with 100, then it spills over into YouTube. So not only do we use the Zoom, but we also broadcast out to YouTube. Okay, so YouTube. Now the next thing is we don't for Tech for Senior Live. It's not a Zoom meeting at all. Tech for Senior Live is we broadcast this out to YouTube and Facebook, and there is no meeting ID or anything. You just go to our Facebook page, or you go to our Facebook or our Zoom or our YouTube channel, and you'll see us there. You don't have to log in. There's no Zoom meeting on our Thursday. And the information of that is all on our webpage, www.techforsenior.com. And if you go there, you can find that. And also, these meetings are recorded. So if you want to go back and look at it again, and if you missed the first part of it, you can replay it either on YouTube or Facebook. Dick Vogel says, good morning to all. There you go. So let's just, what do we got? 15 minutes? Do you want to do some, do you want to do some news articles?
Before you do, let me show you my latest technology. It's called a Boogie Board. It looks like this. And all I have to do is, I can write on it. It's hard to do it when it's in a mirror, but you can write anything you want. It does have a little pen that you can use. And when you're all done, you just hit a button and it goes away.
That's an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an
Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, but what I like about it is I have it handy next to my computer. If I need to take a quick note, I don't have to have 10,000 little pieces of paper anymore. And it's called a Boogie Board.
So you can save that?
There's nothing you can save. There's nothing you can do with it. Once you erase it, it's gone. But it just take a note, and then I can write it down or do whatever I want. I can I'll put down the password I just did. When I'm done, I go and I stick it in my password manager when I'm offline, and then I can just clear the board off.
That's pretty
I
cool.
got it at Amazon. It was about $15-20, I think it was, something like that.
Oh.
And it's got a little magnet in the back. You can even stick it against something that's metal and have it sit there.
Stu says, for quick and dirty video editing on Linux, I've been using Piviti. Do you know that one, John?
Yep, that's one of the good ones. Everybody has their favorites, and one thing that's nice about Linux is that there's always options, because the open sourceness of Linux, somebody can take this program and rewrite it with some features they think make it better, or things take out. So, that at times is a real disadvantage of Linux, is there's so much choice. There's hundreds of different Linux desktop software or operating systems to pick from, which is crazy. And there's usually 3, 4, 5 different options for every type of software that you have.
Lots of choices. And Chance says, with all the Bob, this is probably a talk for you. With all the ransomware attacks in the news, what are the best ways for individuals to protect their personal computers from ransomware? Do you have a nutshell thought on that?
I have Avast installed, and it automatically protects me against the currently known versions of ransomware. Remember that a virus, and ransomware is a form of a virus. It's an infection. Happens to use encryption to mess up your computer, but it's still an infection. And they always have new versions that come out, and it's similar to a virus that we catch. Until there's a cure for it, somebody's going to get stuck with it. So if it's a brand new type of malware, somebody is going to be the first one to run into it. There is no protection for it.
That's 0 day. That's what they call 0 day, isn't it?
Yes. And that's as soon as those things are known, your AV companies all go to work to figure out, okay, what makes this bird tick and how do we kill it? So, but somebody is always going to be the first one to run into something brand new. And when it happens, your system gets infected. That's why they say the only way to be sure do an image backup on a regular basis.
Absolutely. And
Uh-huh.
and don't keep your backup hardware connected to your computer,
Right.
because
Correct.
it will get infected as well,
Yeah.
and you won't be able to
Yep.
get to it.
Yep. Especially if it's ransomware that you get hit with, because it'll encrypt your backup.
Yeah, when I was in the computer business, we had a golf course, a country club that was one of our clients, and we had just worked on their computers and got them back, to them on Friday. And on Monday, they called and said, "We got robbed over the weekend. They stole our computers." I said, "Do you have a backup?" He says, "Yes." And we said, "Where is it?" He says, "With the computer."
Yep.
So they not only stole the computer, they stole their backup. So, if there's a hurricane, there's a tornado, if it's in the same room, it's gone. So you want to make sure that you've got a copy of your backup and you rotate them, and one of them is going to be off premises somewhere. If you got a safety deposit box, that's a good place. You got a relative or even a good friend that you trust very much, that you want to leave it at their house, or you might swap backups. Each of you take the other person's backup once a week and swap them out, and so they have a copy of your backup from a week ago. A week ago is not so bad as if you lose everything.
Mm-hmm. Now, Bob, did you pay Mike Ungerman this? The paid version of Avast offers breach guard worth paying for. It sounds like a paid ad. You didn't.
I didn't. No, Mike discovered without my letting him know anything about it. I've been part of the beta testing since it was first, out there for beta testing.
Yeah.
Happens to have matured. I think like Mike does, it's a very good program.
Good program.
And this concentrates on privacy more than anything else.
Right. And Vale says he uses Bitdefender Armor. And of course, I guess it's Chris or Jim probably said individuals are not generally targeted for ransomware.
Correct.
Unless you got a lot of money, because the ransomware is because they can make some money, and so the more money they can make, the better. So they're going after some big fishes. I noticed that one of my favorite radio stations early in the morning is in Orlando, and they stream, and I've been listening. I usually listen to their stream because they do news. They do it a pretty good job of it. They've been offline for over a week now. The radio station's still going, but I'm far enough away I can't pick it up except by streaming, and they stopped streaming. Several Cox broadcasting system radio stations got breached and were hit with ransomware, and this was one of them, and they aren't back online yet.
I'd like to point out that even in the Linux world that is not as vulnerable to the viruses and stuff, we still preach backup. Yeah.
So the more usage you have on any operating system, the bigger the chances are that the malware isn't far behind. Apple used to be very, very, very safe. Apple's also become very, very popular. So now they have lots of malware on. It gets fixed quickly, but it's still there, and somebody's always the first one. So
yeah. The other quick thing to point out too is that a lot of people don't realize how much they're using Linux in the internet world.
Right.
That all the servers in the background, and so that's being targeted. But then we've got people, and with the open source, who are monitoring it, and so if something happens, it gets corrected quickly. And so as the Chris and said, individuals aren't, but yeah, so it's the big companies and it's Linux that are running all those big company things.
So for everyone, what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about some news articles. And for those watching or those who don't know, Bob, Hewie, and I post all the latest in technology articles to our Facebook page. And this is our Facebook page, and we have and so we're going to go through the articles now. So if you do want to see all the latest up-to-date articles that are published on a daily basis, just you can just watch our Facebook page. So, John, just because you're the guest, and we wanted you to feel at home, and we want you to come back again, I put the first article on here was how to this was just came on this morning. It was a How to Geek one. How to install Google Chrome on Ubuntu Linux. Now, I would assume if you're using Linux, don't you want to use Chrome, the browser?
Nope, you actually don't, because Chrome is closed source. So Firefox is open source. It's the most popular browser on Linux, and Chromium is what Chrome came from. Chromium is an open source, so most of the ones do that. But the problem is that there are some things that Chrome and Google have that only is available maybe through the Chrome browser. So people are starting to have to go that route.
Okay.
If they want that sort of stuff.
Okay. All right.
Ron, go ahead and hit your Control Plus a couple of times.
I did it. You want it up even bigger?
Yeah.
Let's see. I did it.
And move it over.
Yeah, I can't move it over. All right. Okay, let's get on to the next article. So this is interesting. As you all know, I'm quite interested in wearables, and with the watches and the technology and the sensors that we're getting and the diabetes and blood sugar and all the stuff that's happening, is that we're focusing it on watches. And this was an interesting article that came out this morning, development, and it's building these sensors into clothes. And so whether you, why put all these sensors just in watches? They're actually putting them into different parts, shirts you wear, gloves, all that sort of thing. They can be put in. And so the problem, of course, is washing them. How do you wash something that has an electronic sensor in? And they can do that. They have a spray that they can spray on them. So it's a developing thing that we're going to see in the next few years, big time, is we're going to see not only watches with sensors on, but we're going to see clothes. And I thought that was an interesting article. So if you're interested, you can look at this, and it tells you all about how they did it. The next one I had to put this on. This is so cool. This is so cool. You guys got to see this. This is product. What do you call it? It's not a GoFundMe page. It hasn't been made yet. So you can, it's not a GoFundMe. What do they call it?
I just did an Indiegogo. So it's a FundMe type.
Anyway, so this is you gotta look at it. So look,
Concept?
So I'm having so much fun with
Crowdsource.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm having so much fun with my e-bike, and I posted some articles on our Facebook page, and we got a lot of hits. So I think seniors are interested in e-bikes, and this is the coolest e-bike. And so if you want to watch a good e-bike video, you should watch that one. Now, I don't know if you were all aware about we talked about that last week in the show about the watches, and of course the Galaxy Watch used to run Tizen, which is the proprietary operating system, along with Fitbit. Google owns Fitbit now, and that of course it runs the Fitbit operating system. Well, they're both giving up Tizen. Well, Samsung's giving up Tizen and Google's giving up Fitbit, and they're going to the Google Wear operating system, which really it's been around for a while, but really hasn't gone anywhere. Which really is like a huge, this is like, this was big news. And they are going to bring out, apparently they're still coming out with the Galaxy 4 watch, and their big announcement will be June 28th. So I'll have to watch and see what happens. And apparently it's going to have the Google Wear. Bob, I wanted to ask you this because Bob has a podcast. Bob does a podcast, and there's a new sort of move afloat. And this is Apple, of course, is launching their subscriptions to podcasts. So while podcasts in the past have always been free, this is sort of changing now, and there's going to be a paywall in front of a lot of these. I don't know if all the Apple podcasts will have a paywall in front of them, but you're a podcaster. What do you think? Have you noticed this change? What you've got any comments on the pay?
Yeah, very simple. Very simple. Stick with those of us who don't have a paywall.
Right.
You're going to get just as much information and just as up-to-date information.
Yeah, so this is a big change. You know, this is like a lot of news on podcasting and paywalls, and so there is a big change in you're going to, you know, we're going to be paying for this. So, all right, we'll keep an eye
Ron,
on
if you
that.
think about it, we're podcasters in this show.
Yep.
We are, and I've often thought about that we could easily take the audio from this and just make it into a podcast.
That's correct.
Well, some podcasts are audio too, or video too.
Yep.
This came out.
Security News Roundup is a podcast.
It's a podcast. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess we could talk about that another day. I guess is it worth doing? I don't know. Now, I wanted just to bring this up because this came out this morning. Moto G Stylus 5G. This is the Moto G phone, and I just wanted to bring this up because I've owned two. I have a Pixel phone now, but I own two Moto G phones, and these are great phones. And you know, they're not that expensive. And so I wanted just to bring this up. So if people are out there looking for a new phone, they don't want to pay the $1,200 for one of the new iPhones or the Samsung S21s. This is a great phone, and Moto G sells these worldwide. They're very good phones, and I just want to let everybody know that this is available and it is an option if you're looking for a new phone. Have you ever, Bob? Have you had a Moto G?
One of my daughters is a great proponent for
Moto G.
That's what she keeps buying.
Yeah,
it's a new phone. It's a Moto G. She likes the camera. She likes how up to date everything is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's a good one. So this came in this morning. Facebook and a watch. Have you guys seen this one? So Facebook.
Yeah, I was reading that article this morning. Very interesting. It's actually going to have a camera in it, and you're going to be able to take the face of it off.
Yeah.
And use the camera, and it's going to have, I think, 2 different cameras in it.
Right. Now, the story about this is, though, Facebook spent $1 billion developing this, $1 billion, and it may never come. This may never come, because the article goes on saying Facebook has had mixed success with hardware over the years. The Oculus, which I've talked a lot about, like the Oculus headset, appears to be performing well, but the Portal smart displays haven't really done much. I don't know if anyone, I know Jim Gould from Geeks on Tour has a Portal, and we've talked a little bit about that, but it really hasn't gone anywhere. And then the HTC phone, remember Facebook was involved in the HTC phone, and that never went anywhere and was a big failure. So whether or not this is going to go ahead or not, we'll see. But it's interesting that they're looking at next year for a Facebook watch. Facebook quietly confirms new iPhone.
Not Facebook,
upgrade.
Apple.
Apple quietly confirms new MacBook upgrade. Yep. So there's some interesting stuff happening here. Bob, they got some money back, from Bitcoin?
Well, somebody got some money back. And these are people who swore right in the beginning that they never paid anything.
Yeah,
they never paid anything. How are they getting something back?
Yeah,
that's because they lied.
Yeah, they did. They did indeed. Yep. So they got some money anyway.
Get back to the old story. If you leave the front door wide open and you don't expect the crook to walk in, you must be very, very naive.
What was interesting, though, because of course people started to run out of gas, and it caused big lineups at the gas stations. I mean, I think the federal government got really involved in the FBI, and it was interesting that they actually did find the people and were able to lock them down and were able to probably bankrupt them, from what I've been reading. It's sort of interesting that I guess they do have the technology to do that, eh?
They do.
They can find the bad guys.
The crook is usually one step ahead of law enforcement.
Yeah.
Apparently, Bitcoins has not a paper trail, but it leaves a trail that can be followed, and that's how they were able to get the money back.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guarantee you that will change.
Oh yeah.
Let's go down here. Some more Tizen. Oh, Hewie, look at this. Did you see this?
I did. I read that. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
This is a Chrome box, and for those of you who, well, I'm sure, John, you know about Chrome boxes. Have you seen? This is a Chromebook without the keyboard or any attachments. This is just it's like, I guess, the Apple Mini, you know, that would be MacBook Mini, and it's this is
like the Nook that I have. The
yeah, yeah, and it has and so you can plug anything into it, right? And this has 2 terabyte storage. So this is pretty cool.
It's 64 gigabytes of RAM.
RAM, yeah. Yeah. This is serious.
Most Chromebooks come with 2 or 4. Now they are increasing. Some of them are coming out with 8. And here's one with 64 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah. Yeah, that's serious.
My desktop, I thought
it was about $1,500.
Yeah, I noticed that part, and I'm going, oh, Free John says that's too much.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, now this is cool. This was Samsung has just released this, and they have the sensors on stretchable skin that actually goes over your body, and this allows for electronic monitoring of different things that we're going to monitor to stay on your skin longer. It can be used with for children and babies, and where they have sleep apnea and stuff like that. They can monitor their lots of different things because this just stays on longer. It's just incredible the stuff that they're coming up with right now. Oh, this was an interesting one. Did you guys read about locked folders in Google Photos? This is a new feature, and I asked Chris Gould about this, and from Geeks on Tour, I said, "What do you think of this? This is sort of interesting." So what happens here is you can Google Photos is bringing this out. I haven't seen it yet, but it's a folder in your Google Photos that is local on your phone, and anything you put in there is locked. I guess it'd be password protected or something. So it actually doesn't go onto your, it doesn't go up into the cloud. It's not synced or anything like that. And we were trying to think about what the purpose of this might be. And I thought maybe if you're traveling and you want to put some personal documents in, like your passport numbers and stuff like that, maybe you want to put it in, but they're going to bring out a locked folder in Google Photos. I thought that was sort of interesting.
It's for those people who take the pictures that you should never take.
Yeah.
Mr. Weiner, if this had been around a couple of years back, Anthony Weiner would probably still be a politician.
Let's do a few more. I want to just do a couple more while we're talking here. Let's see. Let's start up here. Jim says, "Have you heard about Facebook Watch?"
Just talked about it.
Any rumor? I'm now using. Joel says this Moto G Power, paid $200 on sale. It does everything. Yeah. The Moto, it is a great phone. Dick says, if you owned an LG phone and are looking for a replacement, perhaps the Moto. Yeah, for sure. Gerald says they did not get all the money back, and Bitcoin dropped value, so they're still losing lots of money. There you go. So I guess gas is going up, right?
No comment. I paid $70.71 yesterday to fill up my truck.
Yeah. And Jim or Chris, one of the two, I guess maybe it's Chris, says we will not recommend this locked photos folder. Yeah. Well,
yep.
It's weird. I mean, it's interesting why they would bring, there are so many we talk a lot about Google Photos, and there's a lot of things that we want, but they don't come. And I'm thinking, what's with the locked folder thing? What is with that? Anyway. Oh, well, we'll move on. Oh, so this is interesting. So this is not the article I wanted to really talk about, but did you all see the latest Apple, the developers conference that was on last week? And they made this huge announcement about you probably all are aware that there's FaceTime. In the Apple world, there's FaceTime. And FaceTime is like Skype on steroids, like it used to be. And it really works well. It's a great communication tool. In fact, John, I don't know if you know, but I have two daughters. One lives in China and one lives in Australia. they ganged up on me last year and made me buy an iPad and said the only way you're going to talk to us is if you use FaceTime and use an iPad, right? So we do have an iPad, and that's the only thing we use it for is FaceTime, right? So in the news that came out this last week was they were going to make FaceTime available for Android. So I thought, what? Never heard of that before. And so I was, so anyway, I thought that was a pretty cool announcement. And then I was talking to Chris and Jim Gould this week, and they said they've got the app, and they were telling me all about it. And they said, no, that's not quite it. You can receive a call, but you can't send a call from an Android device. So I thought, well, that's not so good. So maybe they haven't really opened it up after all.
Yeah, it's a web-based, and the person who's on the Apple device has to request that you join them. You can't institute it at all.
You can't, yeah.
From the other, and it's going to have to be only on those that have the latest version. So if you have an older Apple device that's not going to be able to go to 15, version 15 of the iOS, which is the iPad that I have, I'm still not going to be able to use it.
So I guess we're still back to buying Apple products to use FaceTime, man.
You have something built into your Android device that also allows you to do FaceTime.
Yeah. Well, there's Duo, but my kids won't use it. You know, they only use FaceTime. So I don't know. Anyway, it's just I don't know how to do that. So Hewie, you put this on. This is sort of cool. What did you think about this one? This was this.
It's a camera, and the camera itself is smaller than a dime, and it's on a cable. You can see it that comes down the center of your screen. So as you're looking at the center of your screen, you're actually looking right into the camera. And it's an Indiegogo. In other words, they haven't quite started shipping. According to what I was reading, is they may have started for some of the early people who subscribed or signed up for it through Indiegogo. It's and then they have, the lower prices that start out at $100. Now it's up to about $125, and it's got a little clip. It clips on the top of the screen, and you can bring it down as far down as you want it to be, right in the middle of the screen. But it's so small that you're going to be able to see the screen and everything around it without it interfering with anything.
So you can't. So
you're going to be looking. You're going to be looking straight at. Right. Oh yeah. Well, they wouldn't be able anyway, because they don't. But the camera is going to sit right in the middle of your screen.
Right. I'm waiting for a cheaper version to come out.
That's pretty cool, though.
I bid on it. So
I know you.
I don't know when they say it's shipping in June, which is June, but I think I was number 6,000 and something. So how long China, or how quickly they're going to make them in China and not make changes and so on and start shipping, I'll have to see. But you'll know when I get it, because I'll be looking right at you instead of
it's also plug and play.
To look at it.
It's also plug and play, so you don't.
Yeah, it's USB. Right.
You don't have any software control to go with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't use any anyway.
So John, just let you know, these other two partners of mine here, they're always trying to buy stuff and get one ahead of me. So they're ruthless. They're ruthless, so they're always trying to get one up on me. So I got to keep my toes on the ground here and watch these guys.
I just today bought from Walmart their copy of the Google casting device. This is cheaper and is supposed to be the same as the Google casting device.
Oh, okay.
I have another TV that doesn't have it.
Sorry,
so
I don't have any information
whoops,
about that.
I said the magic
but I found
word.
Something related.
So Google's going off on me.
Yeah. So Hewie, what's you posted this.
Yep.
Ice cream? Someone's going to come? What's the deal with this?
Yeah, when they say they're going to have a sensitive mic on these drones.
TV or monitor with an HDMI port and can stream content.
Hey Google, shut up. They're going to have a sensitive mic on the drone, so those people out looking for you will be able to send out the drone, and hopefully you're someplace hollering for help.
Oh, search and rescue.
And
then search and
That's
rescue.
correct. And this will pick
Oh.
up your voice, and because in a drone, chances of finding you will greatly increase, especially
Cool.
meant for areas where you really you're out on a hike trying to climb a mountain and you wind up in trouble. Well, this will be able to help you find you earlier and faster.
Or what happens if you can say it's drop the parcel here? It's an Amazon. It's an Amazon delivery.
I'm sure
Right.
that'll also happen.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Oh, this is our newsletter that was published. If you have not, if you're listening and have not signed up for our newsletter, please do so. It's at www.techforsenior.com. Sidewalk. Now we had a lot of stuff. Bob, you put this up, but we had a whole bunch of stuff. John, have you been following all the stuff on Amazon Sidewalk? Have you been?
Yeah, and I found out that I can't turn mine off because my guy upstairs doesn't have that feature.
Oh, okay.
So I went through my phone app and all through the settings, and there's nothing about that. And somebody said the older Echoes can't update to the new stuff. Won't have to worry about it.
Bob, any further thoughts on it? I know you've done a number of videos on it. We talked a lot about it, and Dewey did a nice bit about it as well last week. But there's lots of buzz on on the news feeds on different services. Any comments or anything more to add? Bob?
I think he's frozen.
I think he's.
Yeah, we lost him.
We lost him. All right, we'll get back to that.
Anyway, I'm reading more and more that if you read the articles, and the articles have a lot in them, what they're saying is, it may not be as bad as some people think, and so not everybody's recommending you turn it off. I do know there's some people on here today that would recommend you turn it off, but I'm probably going to, mine's off, and I'm probably going to turn mine on. I don't care.
Starlink. John, in your area of the woods, anyone getting Starlink, or what's happening down?
Not until I heard about it on your show.
And by the way, that Starlink report from this week, which has been up just 5 days, the last I looked at it had 1,880 some odd views.
Yeah. Well, you see, with it being in Arizona, and Arizona is fairly far south, I'm assuming that it probably is available now, probably throughout the United States. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Is that
there was one comment on my YouTube channel that somebody said it's not available yet in Alaska, and they're biting the waiting for it to be available for them.
Yeah. Reading that article, I just can't picture how many satellites there are up there and how anybody can travel out and not hit something.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna have to duck when you go.
And Jeff Bezos is going to go ahead and get aboard one of his rockets next month, and being one of the richest people in the world, or the richest person in the world, and he's still going to take that chance of going up in a rocket and then coming back down and hopefully land okay.
In case he chickens out.
With his brother of all things as well.
In case he chickens out.
I don't think I would do that.
Yeah, if he chickens out, I'd be happy to jump in.
Well, it'd be interesting. Well, also, of course, what we talked about before on the show, John, is China has started their 6G technology for their 6G their communication, and part of the strategy is a satellite network as well to improve speeds, and so they are launching a bazillion satellites up there as well. So I don't know, when you look up in the stars and you look like, holy mackerel, there's going to be a lot of space stuff up there.
Chris says it's space is big, but as many as that report said they're putting up. And there's all the trash that's up there that we left up there besides what we put up there for a reason.
Yeah.
It just,
The International Space Station just had space debris that took care of the arm that Canada had.
Oh
put
yeah,
up.
yeah.
oh my.
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder.
It's not the size; it was the speed of that object that did the damage. Because
Yeah, one of the things that Starlink.
Yep.
One of the things that Starlink has in its plans is as these things time out, and most of them they figure the different satellites will last about 5 years. They have built in ways to bring them back down and not have them just be debris.
Good.
Mhm.
We just had that with that Chinese satellite, right? They had no way of controlling how it comes
They
back.
didn't even know
down.
where it was,
Right.
Yeah.
or they didn't know where it was going to land.
Yep.
Chris says the Canadarm is still functions. Good old Canadarm, it still works.
Yep.
Hewie, you talking about seniors and they're getting hacked. Don't divulge personal information. Probably you're talking. One of the things I always talk about is online surveys, and just don't
move that up a little bit. Yeah.
Don't do them. Just don't do them. There you go.
Name a song that takes you back to high school. Or I saw one today. Is name the number one song when you graduated high school, or name the number one song that on your 6th birthday. Well, as soon as you do that, they got the year, and that's part of the information.
Oh
they're
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get from you.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, isn't that a bummer, eh? So be careful. Be careful with surveys, no matter where you find them.
I'm getting a bunch of emails lately from some companies that I do business with, but some that I don't, asking for reviews of their service or reviews of a product that they have. I'm trying to think. I was just looking at it, and I guess I've downloaded them or deleted most of them, but I'm getting a lot of them. And I started. One of them was for my ISP, and I started, and the first thing it asked for was my date of birth, and I says, "Why would they need that for a survey?" It just shut it off right then and there.
Yeah.
So, and or I'm getting these things that get a free Gillette razor or get a free something by filling out a survey.
Right.
And so I'm getting a lot of those kind of emails. And if you're not careful, you're going to give them information, if nothing else, your address,
Right.
and your email address and phone number, and you can get more robocalls.
Yes.
I got an email yesterday, and they said that they had some of my pictures, and they were holding me hostage, and they were going to release those pictures unless I sent them some Bitcoins. Nice thing is, I know there are no pictures. What pictures? All the pictures that are out there, enjoy yourself. And if you like them, that's nice. I don't have anything out there that you have to be ashamed of. At least I knew that much even when I was growing up.
This is a deal on Chromebooks. So there's lots of, every day, even at Costco, there are more and more deals on Chromebooks. So it's, it's just for everyone to keep looking. And I always recommend go to Best Buy, shop around, look, or even Walmart has lots of Chromebooks there to go and have a look around when you're looking for a new Chromebook. Just lots of stuff out there on virtual reality.
Microsoft released something this morning on virtual reality.
Did they?
And they're really, really going to get involved.
This is about China's drive to compete against Starlink for future orbital internet. And this is all about, they're going to put a ton of satellites up there. This is one of the articles. Hewie, this was when you having trouble with a major site. This may be the reason. Did you want to mention anything?
A good portion of the internet went down just a few days ago.
Yep.
If you were trying to look up something, for instance, I was trying to get something. I was trying to post something on Facebook, and I was trying to share it, and apparently wherever it was stored was on one of the systems that was down, and it kept saying we're having trouble. We can't do that right now. Do this right now. And what happens is that a lot of the information that these services like CNN and Amazon and Hulu and so on, a lot of things that they share with us that we get from them are stored somewhere in computers, obviously, by big conglomerates that hang on to all this stuff, and then it's fed out. And one of those companies had a breach or a problem. It wasn't a breach; it was a problem. And they may have, according to some of the podcasts I listened to last night, they may have isolated it down to it could have been one small company that caused the outage.
Just a few, because we've only got about 4 minutes left. You know.
Oh gosh, where'd the time go?
John, it is time flies, eh?
Yep.
Murray, of course, is he's Tech for Senior on Monday. Murray's always listening, and he's on. Thank you, Murray, for being there. Murray says yes. That they will do is modify them to show you with a porn star. And Mike says Amazon Prime Day coming up for bargains. Yes,
the 20th and 21st.
Yeah, but not in Canada. Not in Canada. They're not having. The problem is the COVID, and the warehouses are just so depleted of people to staff so we're not having a Prime Day sale in Canada.
And Walmart's doing one, and Target's doing one.
They started day before Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's the same. Oh, really? Oh,
Yep.
That's cool. Walmart was doing the same thing Amazon was with the 2-day delivery and everything. Is anyone doing that? Bob, are you doing that, or?
Yeah, I shop between the two, and quite often Walmart gives me the better price. Like today, my wife is out shopping. I ordered something this morning. She'll pick it up directly at the store, and then I don't have to wait for anything. There's no postage. There's no nothing, because she picks it up right from the local store.
Cool. This is e-bike conference. This is a news article I put about. There actually is a conference on e-bikes, and this will be from between June 14th and 18th. And if anybody wants to register for that conference, that's sort of cool. We come down. Apple takes on Zoom, opens. Yeah, this is the one. Apple takes on Zoom, opens FaceTime video chat software to Windows and Android. Yeah, this was the article on that, and I thought that is going to be so cool. But that's not really sort of going to happen, eh?
It's their interpretation of it, and it doesn't
Headlines,
seem to be what it's going to be.
Yeah. Headlines aren't always what the actual story is.
So YouTube launches shorts in Canada. Is this underwear, Bob, or what are we talking about? Are we launching? Finally, Canadians are getting underwear. Is that the idea?
No, these are little videos. I had made one short. I've never made another one because I just who remembers?
Right.
And we don't do anything small, do we, Bob, when it comes
No.
to videos?
No.
Yes, indeed. So these are short little videos. I guess they had to compete.
It's like TikTok.
TikTok, yeah, to compete with
Yeah.
TikTok. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. So what did you just do, a short video? Is that the idea or what?
Yes, has to be 60 seconds or less.
Okay.
And your camera can't be horizontal. It has to be vertical.
Vertical.
Yeah. And
Listen,
I
go
don't
ahead.
usually do any videos or any on the phone unless I want the whole picture. I don't just want the little.
And as usual, the geeks get the last word. Chris and Jim say thanks, guys. Good to see you, John. And it's yes, indeed. So it's top of the hour. It's an hour has gone by. Did I still have a little coffee left? How about you guys? Got coffee left?
I got an empty cup.
Got some water left.
One left. Well, John, did you have fun?
Really good job. Good time and everything. Yes.
Will you come back? Will you come back?
Absolutely.
We would love to have you back again. Yeah, that'd be great. We'll book you in. That is great. Does anyone have the last comment or a word anybody want to talk about?
No, but as usual, it was fun. I think it's next week I'm going to miss, but I'll be back in 2 weeks.
All right. The next week, our guest will be Bill James. So Bill loves to talk, so he no doubt will fill your shoes there.
Okay.
All right. But we'll miss you.
Yeah, he'll give you the run for tech toys because he has everything.
We'll have to get him. Maybe we'll get him to talk about the 5 top tech toys he thinks we should buy. Maybe.
Ask him about Sudsy.
Sudsy. Okay. All right, everyone. Listen. Thanks for coming. Thanks all you everyone out there. Thank you for watching today. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to end the broadcast now. Of course, this is taped. If you want to go back and watch it over and over and over again, you can certainly do that. If you don't forget to come to our show on Monday, we're going to have a great show. Lots of good stuff on the show this Monday. So come and see us on Monday, which is a Zoom meeting. So that is true. It is a Zoom meeting. It's different than our. And
you know what else is this week? Sunday is my Windows. SIG meeting.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right.
Yep. So if you're
We'll all be there.
If you're not signed up for it, please get in touch with me, and I'll send you a way to sign up, or just go ahead and sign up for my newsletter at hewie.net. And I haven't sent out the newsletter yet. It has the links on it and all the information. But you can go to hewie.net, go to the WinSig section, and I got a list of most of the items I'm going to be talking about on Sunday.
I wonder what the program is following you.
Yes, and then right after that, if you stay on, there's a special guest. His name is John Kennedy.
Oh, really?
And John, what are you going to be speaking on, John?
Free software.
Okay.
Specifically FOSS. Free and open source.
Okay.
All right. So good. So some good hints of some software you can get. It won't cost you any money. So that's this Sunday, and that's on the same link and the same Zoom meeting that I'll be doing the WinSig. It'll be directly following mine. So that's this Sunday.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to be ending the broadcast now. If you guys could stick around, I'll just talk to you after the show, and I'll just end the broadcast now.